About yourself and then tell me about your family.
So my name's Dylan Jenkins. I'm 21 and I live in Henderson, Nevada, Las Vegas. And I go to University of Nevada, Las Vegas for college currently. And I also go work at Leslie's Pool Supplies, about 40 hours a week. With all that, I still try and dedicate my time to those closest around me. Not only my lovely girlfriend, but also my family and friends. And family is really important to me because, it's everything to me and to a lot of people. And with a household of 7, including 2 dogs, there's a lot of stories, but a lot of great ones. And with the family, it's me, my mom, dad, and my 2 older brothers, Kyle and Ryan. And Ryan is probably one of the biggest stories I want to tell because, he's an awesome person and an amazing brother.
And tell me about Ryan.
So with Ryan, when I was younger, I didn't really understand, autism or other intellectual or developmental disabilities. So growing up and not really understanding it made me fearful of him in certain ways, especially when he would have an outbreak of anger because he was either stressed over something, or the biggest thing is he wouldn't be able to communicate something because he's lower spectrum in the autism spectrum. So that would basically mean that he has a very hard time communicating what he's thinking to people. So, he can think and he can critically think and reason all within his own mind, and he can pretty much express everything to himself. In terms of expressing it word to word with people, it's hard for him, and that's one of the biggest challenges that he faces, and him being aware of that, I know, can cause a lot of stress on him. So me and my family, we always try to be there to provide for him, and I've always wanted to over time, especially with my involvement in like Best Buddies and other organizations.
Tell me exactly what you did with Best Buddies.
Best Buddies is a nonprofit organization that wants to support people with intellectual and developmental disabilities, make sure that they have a career and they have a guaranteed future to where they can live in a home, have a job, live a life like anyone else, since they're not provided those opportunities because of discrimination. So when I went to high school, I went to a private Catholic high school called Bishop Gorman, and I joined Best Buddies Club. And we were a certain chapter of Best Buddies where we actually organized events rather than having our own buddy, which is someone with a disability who would be your friend. And you would both be placed in that based off of your interests and so on and so forth. My brother Ryan had a buddy during his high school time, but with Bishop Gorman, they sadly didn't allow people with disabilities into the university. So we made events for people with those disabilities, and we made sure that we not only organized but helped other schools with their events. So that's what I mainly did during my freshman and sophomore years. I just mainly helped out with events and kind of learned more about the organization. And by junior, by sophomore year going into junior, I became the vice president of the club, and I went to the 2015 Best Buddies International Leadership Conference, where I learned so much about the values and importance of what the organization's about. There I met Anthony Kennedy Shriver, the founder of Best Buddies. And, it's not like this is just just one little city organization. This is a non-profit, worldwide organization. So I went to this event twice, sophomore summer year, and then my junior summer leading into senior year. Because by senior year I was president, where I was awarded the Eunice Kennedy Shriver Award based upon my service for people with intellectual and developmental disabilities. But if it wasn't for Best Buddies and learning how to communicate and how to understand, and me, willing to grow over time, without any of that, I wouldn't have gone over my fears of not understanding Ryan. And I, you know, being able to go over that and to be able to understand that is the biggest thing. And with Best Buddies, you know, I couldn't thank the organization enough, and I'm blessed to have someone like Ryan in my life.